All right, class is back. This is part two, loops versus ladders, right? So I want to give three other areas where I see that this is something that plagues people, whether they're stuck in a loop or if they're using something as a ladder. So the first point is time, right? So people have time loops, basically where they say, I just don't have enough time to get to the gym. I don't have enough time to meal prep. I don't have enough time to apply for jobs and update my resume. And what you notice they're doing is they're doing things like doom scrolling on their phone or binge watching TV, things that are busy work, but it's not productive, right? It's not setting aside time blocks to do something productive or to reach a goal. It's stuff just to create little obstacles from having to face what you don't want to face, right? Or use time blocks to do something in schedule and use that time as a ladder. Now, the second area where I see it a lot is within people's social versus solitude settings. What I mean by social is people will book their calendar with birthday parties and events and stuff to do and stuff to basically keep them preoccupied from changing their life, right? From whether it's starting a business, creating content, actually shaking hands and networking. They'll fill up their calendar with little social things to kind of keep them feeling like they're productive when in reality all they're doing is just, it's another form of busy work, right? Now usually when you're in solitude, when you're alone, that's when you're creating. You create in silence. And a lot of the time, people don't get to that point because they're sharing their plans and getting little bits of validation from their friends by saying, here's what I plan on doing, instead of actually doing the plan, making the ladder. Lastly, I want to say it hits hard with identity. So one thing is some people are stuck in a loop where they let others identify them. They might say like, you might be the funny one of the group or the class clown. So when you're trying to build and do something serious, people pull you back into that previous identity. Whereas a ladder is where you rewrite your story and your narrative. And you say, okay, that was me, but now I'm headed here. I'm headed into entrepreneurship, or I'm headed into changing careers and transitioning, right? So that's kind of like banking on number two, where solitude comes into play. So ultimately, when it comes to your identity, you can be in the loop, or you were the funny one, or you were the party guy, and then you decide, hey, you know what, like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm changing my narrative. And you do this in silence. And the one last thing I will say is, a lot of the time, people stick with people. They stick with people that are like them. Your vibe attracts your tribe. People stuck in a loop will still go out, drink, complain. They'll basically stay in the same setting, whereas people that are actually building, they'll meet up and they'll share ideas and they'll build. So I hope that this helps.